Hey gang, it's John and we're back with another What's Blank Wednesday, and I'm joined by one of our super sales gang, Talos, who is a disc golfer, right?
Yes, correct.
And I am not a disc golfer, but the weather's getting warm and we carry a lot of this stuff and people are coming in to buy it. So help me out here, man. I want to go out and start disc golfing. I walk into Bill and Paul's. What are you going to tell me first?
Yeah, so the most important thing is going to be your discs. I've picked out 5 here. I think that's a pretty good starting quiver. We have a couple drivers.
I can't just use one. I can't just buy one and just go out and start whipping it.
So you can actually, and I have recommended that to customers before. If that is the route you're taking, I almost always say go for a higher speed putter. So that's going to be around a 4 or 5. And that's really if you just want to test the waters. You don't want to put any more money into it than you need to figure out if you like it or not. They're very forgiving. They fly a pretty moderate distance with, an untrained arm. And they're just kind of a fun disc to throw around without having to worry about too much technique. They're also really easy for kids to throw. So when families come in and a little one wants to play with mom or dad, I usually put one of these putters in their hand and I'm like, that's really all you need.
Cool. So you're using the word putter, so there's definitely some similarities between this and the actual sport of golf.
Yeah.
Right? So am I gonna then get some irons or drivers, or where do we go from here?
Yeah, so I have 2 drivers here. They're in different plastics. Different plastics have a different feel in your hand and they'll kind of break in a little differently too. And then they all have some numbers on them, and without getting too into details, you can ask a staff for advice on those, but I picked these 2 because one's overstable and one's understable. So what that means, I'll kind of face it for the camera like this. When you throw, one's gonna have more of a tendency to stay true and the other one's gonna drift off. Okay. So when you're, measuring up a course and you're like, all right, basket's over there, I want it to take a dive, that's when you select which driver you want for that scenario.
So those are just like with golf, you've got multiple options in your bag then probably, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so it's getting kind of specialized.
Just for starting out, 5 is a pretty good option.
And what are the other 2? Are those?
So this is a fairway, so these are distance drivers. Those are just, you're ripping them real hard.
Going for that big throw.
Yeah, once you're in the fairway, you still have some distance to the basket, but you're not close enough for like a putter or mid-range yet. Then you'd go for a bit of a lighter driver. It doesn't take as much force. You can focus more on your aim. Then you'd come to a mid-range. And these are actually also a really good do-it-all. If you're going to go for 2 for a putter and a mid-range. And these, they fly really nice. They're usually pretty stable. So they kind of, wherever you let go, they're gonna just float down and plant themselves, get you ready for your approach, which you would do with putters.
That's gonna get you in the basket a little easier to be accurate with.
If you're throwing the whole thing with a super heavy, for reference, this is a 14 speed, a putter is gonna be like 2 to 4.
Okay.
So if you're throwing this one at the basket that's like 10 feet away and you overthrow, it's gonna roll and keep going and create a ton of distance. So what you want is
you're
nice and light.
The basket just like in golf. So
Exactly. So you want something nice and light, so when it comes down, it just kind of like plop. You don't have to worry about it. Sometimes you can just reach in and tap it in.
Got it. All right. Yeah, so I've done just about everything that we represent in this store. This is one of the sports activities that I haven't. This isn't one of our core disciplines, but because of a lot of the accessories that disc golfers use, and you guys were coming in and shopping for this stuff, we added the discs, and I think we have an excellent selection from, what are some of the brands that we have that people might recognize? I see Latitude 64, it's a big one.
Yep, MVP, West Side. There's probably a couple other ones down there that I didn't pluck out, but I didn't want to overload the table with just
it's a cool presentation. So So some of the things I think that I'm a little more comfortable talking about would be you're outside, you're sweating, you're walking through the woods or whatever. So a nice wicking t-shirt, smart wool, that keeps you cooler when it's hot actually, because it's made out of wool, and they're making some fun patterns. Because I think you guys are kind of a funky bunch, am I right? There can be.
Yeah,
I don't know.
for sure. We don't take it too seriously. Well, some of us don't anyways.
Pair of good kicks, right? Something.
Yeah, especially around the Grand Rapids area where I've been playing. There are some instances of where the course will flood over a little bit and it'll be a little muddy, and a little bit of traction, a little bit of waterproofing doesn't hurt.
So this is the Exit 4 from Solomon, waterproof, stable, but still super lightweight, comfortable.
Yeah.
Yep. And protect your eyes with this cool coat epoxy. Go ahead and do good hat, right? That's been kind of a fun hat to sell. We've got the blenders trending, super cool. Hot shades going.
Yeah. You don't want to head out there without a hat and sunnies, that's for sure.
For sure.
Especially if you're facing into the sun at any point.
You know what I forgot? I should have brought a can of Sawyer mosquito repellent up, because I got to think, because you are right, a lot of the courses along the rivers and it's wet, so bug spray would be important.
Bug spray is huge for sure.
So you keep all that stuff together in this, huh? It's like your caddy. Right?
Yep, exactly. So this one's a really good little intro one, not too heavy. They can get pretty cumbersome if you go too big right away. We do have some backpack versions that hold a few more discs than this. So if you do start building up your collection, that's really nice. And they have little pockets in them where you can keep like a wicking towel, which is nice if, let's say, you accidentally throw your disc into a pond or it starts to drizzle on you. I prefer to keep my hands and disc dry. It keeps the throw more consistent. So having one of those to just tuck into your bag when you head out is super nice.
Cool. Well, there's quite a few courses around town. I know Riverside downtown was kind of maybe one of the original big ones down there. I live out in Lowell. There's a really cool course in Fellsburg Park. Have you played that one?
Yep, I have played that one, and that one's huge. They have a lot of holes, and I know they do competitions there, so it's well kept, well maintained. And they've got courses scattered all around, so if there's one you've played too much, it's a quick Google search to find a new spot.
Or you guys tell us if you watch this video, drop us your favorite place to play or share your information. So I don't know if we're the biggest disc golf vendor in town, but we certainly have a lot of cool stuff for you guys to get out there, try this. It's a good way to get some exercise, to be kind of on the trail, because they're all in rustic, more or less, areas. I think they're really pretty spots. So thanks for tuning in and checking us out with disc golf stuff. And until next week, see y'all later.